really nice to meet you. So look, you are the physiotherapist in the Pembroke Dental Clinic, which is really more like a health clinic at this point, isn't it?
It is, yeah. There's a lot.
How did a physiotherapist come to be taken on board in the Pembroke?
Well, I saw there was interviews going here for physiotherapists, and I contacted Brenda, but I actually studied in Carlow IT as a sports rehabilitator and athletic therapist.
I was going to ask you where you actually studied anyway, so you've covered that for me already.
Yeah, so I studied locally in Carlow, and I said I'll give it a go because it's a really good course and we have really good experience. So when I chatted with Brenda, she was delighted, and we were both on the same page, ready to get going. And I set up the clinic here in Pembroke Dental.
That is fantastic.
Granby Clinic, yeah.
And when was that?
That was 2015 that I set up here, but before that...
So did she ask you to set up the physiotherapy end of it?
Yes, yeah,
Wow.
yeah. So I set that up, but prior to that then I had been out on my own doing a lot of matches and pitch side work and working with teams, and then I had my own small clinic kind of working from home and working in other clinics as well.
So it's kind of tough going, isn't it? Like
It
when
is.
you're self-employed like that,
Yeah.
and you're working with teams and you're on the side of pitch, and then you're going home and trying to generate clientele without an actual proper base.
Yeah.
Like, that's hard.
Yeah,
That's hard going.
Yeah, it was hard work, and you're working every hour of the day, like mornings, Sunday mornings at matches, you're working evening match sessions, and then the clinic as well. But my real love is the clinic, so that's why I really wanted to set up the clinic here. I love being one-on-one with the patient, and you develop a real relationship with a patient, and that's my area that I just love specialising in.
Would your sports clients come here now?
Some of them do, yeah. But teams tend to have
their own
physiotherapist, a team physiotherapist.
Sorry, what did you say you studied in IT, Carlo, again?
Sports rehabilitation and athletic therapy.
Wow.
So even though the sports title is in that course, we still can treat loads of patients, elderly and young, and anybody who has an injury to muscle or ligament, so your sprained ankle walking down the street, that person can still come in. So it's not necessarily just a sports type of client, it could be just a low back pain that's been aggravating you for a long time. It doesn't need to be a sports client.
What does kinetic actually mean?
I'm glad you asked that, actually, because I spent a lot of time thinking about what I'm going to call the business. And kinetic actually is a Greek word for with movement. So that with movement. So I was thinking body with movement, and that's what I aim to achieve. So for people who are stiff and sore and pain, that we get them to a body with movement to resolve all the issues.
That's lovely.
Yeah, I thought it was a lovely name. But
but it is a lovely name, and I've seen the word kinetic used a lot. And we had a lovely patient of yours in, the gorgeous, tall, very athletic looking Andrea, and she said that she's a runner. She was saying that she had a muscle spasm.
Oh, yeah.
And I think on the back of her thigh.
Yeah.
And she was saying that you used the deep needling process on her.
Yeah, yeah.
And can you explain to me a little bit about the deep needling and what that does for people?
Dry needling. So
dry needling. Excuse me.
Yeah, it's you use the same type of needle as an acupuncture needle, but with dry needling we kind of put it directly into the muscle, and it can be a very chronically tight muscle, and it's causing pain and shortening the muscle and pulling on the joints. So when you put the needle in, the muscle has a little reactive jump to it, and then
it
releases the tension. Wow. And it's a great treatment, and it tends to be, if people are happy with needles, it tends to be less, it's not as painful as going in manually. Manually being massage can be painful sometimes, depending.
Is that process, is it around a long time?
It is, yeah. Well, it's getting more and more popular, but yeah, it's quite popular, yeah.
So I'd say you need specialised training to
you do, yeah.
pop the very fine needling.
Yeah.
When you went along this road in your career, were you very definitive about what you wanted to do, or?
Yeah, I was actually. When I first left school, I studied horticulture, and I loved horticulture. I was raised on a fruit farm, but I studied horticulture and I travelled for a few years. But when I came home, I had a real interest in the body. I had one or two injuries of my own, and the more I learned about the body, I realised it's like a giant puzzle, and everything should be a certain size and a certain length for everything to be aligned and to move
Balanced
correctly. Balanced. And so I became more and more interested in it, and then one day I started looking up courses. And I just said, I really want to do that. And I took the plunge and went back to college as a mature student. And and I don't regret it. I love what I'm doing now
Big
today.
kudos to you. That's a fairly brave thing to do,
Yeah,
actually.
it was tough. And I thought it would have been easier, and it was a lot harder.
Where were you studying your horticulture?
Up in Meath. The college isn't open anymore, making me sound really old now.
No.
But Warrenstown Horticulture College.
Stop.
Yeah.
Wasn't that my brother went to Warrenstown?
Did he?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
Did
I loved it.
agriculture there.
Yeah, I loved it up there. Actually, that was great as well, and I got great experience. I travelled with my horticulture education, so it's great. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, congrats to you. Listen,
Okay.
just one final question. 2 years in, having started the physiotherapy unit in Pembroke,
Yeah.
how's business?
It's good, actually. It's really taken off now. It's tough going starting out, you know. There's no joke about that. But now, 2 years into it, it's going really well, and I need to start thinking ahead and thinking of the future, because it's growing nice.